bring you a comparison of these two concealers that I have been testing for about the last month. I have really been testing them. I have not used any other concealer for the entire month of June, and I've only been using these two. Some days I use this one, some days I use this one, some days I use both of them, one on each eye, and that's what I've done today. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless Wear Concealer, and this one is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Waterproof All Day Extreme Wear Concealer. So you can see very different packaging right off the bat. I thought that this was supposed to be like the waterproof version of this, but I'm not entirely sure that that is true. They both have the double wear in the name, but the rest of the name is different. And of course the packaging is so different that you wouldn't even really know these two were related. On Sephora's website, the waterproof version claims to have a matte finish, which it does. And this one says it has a natural finish, which I'm not really sure what that even is supposed to mean. To me, it's just kind of matte as well. So they're both matte. This one says it's 24 hours and this one says it's 15 hours. I did not wear either of these for more than 12 hours at the time, but they did both last really well up to 12 hours. So the coverage level on both of these is actually very full coverage. It's pretty much equal between the two as to the coverage that you're getting. I'm just going to give you a spoiler right off the bat. This one to me is far superior than the waterproof version. So I'm gonna go through like the pros and cons of the waterproof. To be honest, I don't really have any cons to this one here. I love this. I've fallen in love with this concealer. I think it is amazing. Neither of these crease. This one didn't crease on me at all, which was amazing. This is waterproof. It is what it says it is. I had a really bad day one day where I was actually bawling my eyes out. I can't even remember why, to be honest now, but it was a bad day. And this really lasted through all of that. It really did. It didn't move, it didn't budge, it stayed on all day. So it has that going for it. So if you have like an upcoming wedding and you cry at weddings like I do, this would be awesome. If you're like the bride or the mother of the bride or anybody who cries at weddings, this would be great for you. If you're going to the pool or to the beach and maybe you don't want to wear too much makeup, but you have dark circles and you want to cover those or blemishes, this would be really great for that as well. That's about all the pros that I have for this. In terms of cons, okay, I set this in very different ways. I always did set it, but I set it in a few different ways. I just set it quite normally with the powder. I baked it a few different times with a few different powders. This doesn't set very well with many different powders. I did use drugstore, I did use high-end, and I found it was pretty much the same across the board. It does this really weird thing with baking, where if you're gonna bake under your eye, and you know how you leave the powder there and then you dust it away, it almost grabs too much in certain weird patchy areas, and it almost makes it look like you have a little bit of like scarring, or it just makes it look like a raised area under your eye. It's very, very strange. It's super emollient and it doesn't even really work into the skin all that well. Like it almost sits on top of the skin a little bit, definitely more than the other one does, but it's so emollient. A little bit goes a long way, which is good, but again, you have to set it, and I find with cream products that are super emollient, they are very tricky with what will set them well. And again, this doesn't play well with a lot of different powders. So in my notes over the course of the last month, the word cakey just kept coming up, like many different days where I was like, it was cakey with this powder, it looked cakey by the end of the day, it definitely looked cakey. So this does have a tendency to be cakey. Overall, I would recommend this. I do think that it has a lot of good benefits. Like I said, doesn't crease, great coverage, lasts all day, and is super waterproof. But you do have to be really careful with setting it and how all of that works together in the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Concealer. Like I said, this is amazing. This has now become right up there with my favorite concealers. I love this. This has a very creamy consistency. It blends really, really well. Over the course of the month, I kept thinking to myself, this totally reminds me of the Urban Decay Naked Concealer, and it really does. This performs pretty much exactly the same as the Urban Decay. So if you have the Urban Decay, you probably don't need to go out and get this, except I would say the coverage level on this one is just a little bit fuller than the Urban Decay, but in terms of consistency, how it goes on, how it blends, all of that kind of stuff, even how it smells exactly the same as the Urban Decay. If you guys know that smell, it's kind of don't take this the wrong way. It kind of smells like paint, but not overly bad. And it goes away very quickly. You don't smell it all day or anything. This does have the doe foot applicator, which is far superior in my opinion than having a squeezy tube on the waterproof version. I have no idea why they didn't just do the doe foot on the waterproof. It makes no sense to me because this is so messy when you have to apply it with your finger, but this is just perfect. It's just, you know, you get to swoop it on, you blend it out with a beauty blender or however you like to blend your concealer, and it's awesome. And it doesn't crease. This didn't crease on me at all, which is great. So many concealers crease on me, even high-end ones, really good ones crease on me, but this one didn't, neither did the other one. That is amazing for both of these. I think that is absolute A+. So on Sephora's website, on the page for this one, it does say, and I thought this was kind of strange, it says it won't come off from water, from humidity, or from sweat. So that made me think, why even make a waterproof if that is true? Now, I didn't like jump in a pool or bawl my eyes out while I was ever wearing this, but it always lasted all day, and I did have a few really hot days, not too humid, but definitely hot where I was sweating and stuff, and it lasted fine through that. I am wearing this one on this eye today, and I am wearing this one on this eye. I just applied them about half an hour-ish ago, and so right now you can't really see much of a difference. By the end of the day, when I tried one on one and one on the other, I definitely did see that this one did usually get a little bit more cakey, but the coverage always stayed the same. They lasted exact same amount of time. So I think it comes down to purely whether or not you need a waterproof concealer, because this one isn't going to give you any other benefits that this one won't, and this one definitely has some more pros than this one does. So in my opinion, if you're just looking for a fantastic concealer, definitely go with the regular Double Wear. If you absolutely need a waterproof, go with this one. So I think they're both good products, but this one I think is probably like an A, maybe an A-, and this one is like a definite A+. Like, this to me now has become a go-to concealer. I think it is fantastic. So I hope that helped you guys in deciding which one to buy, and that's it for today. So thanks so much for spending time with me. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to get back to you. And have a great day wherever you are. Love you guys. Bye.